Come and say welcome to my dancehall school. I'm gonna teach you about the dancehall rule. You! Yeah, man, original Swallow Bantel alongside Missy Laneyus.
Yeah, don't you know when I'm listening to Unique Vibes Radio? Yo, this is your girl, Raphaelia. Keep it locked to uniquevibes.com.
I am joined this afternoon by Shalom, and I'm going to give you the first of his tracks from his album Tailor Made, God is Life.
Life sustained flesh. God is life. He gives us breath. God is life. I cannot sing. God is life. He's in you and me. From creation, God, you ruled the world, separated the land from the sea. From creation, God, you made the sun and the moon and the galaxies. From creation, God, you made the animals, the plants and the birds and the trees. From creation, you rule, he ruled in his majesty. God is life. Life sustained flesh. God is life. He gives us breath. Yes, yes. God is life. I cannot sing. God is life. He's in you and me. Enough abuse it, confuse it. Enough of them lose it. So a man doesn't know his time. Playing with the gift of life. Like the fish that needs water and the trees that need the earth. So a man without a soul is without life. Without life, God is life. Life sustained flesh. God is life. He gives us breath. God is life. I cannot see. God is life. He's in you and me. God is life. God is life. God is Lord. Lord. So don't play with your life. From creation, God, you rule the world, separated the land from the sea. From creation, God, you made the sun and the moon and the galaxies. From creation, God, you made the animals, the plants and the birds and the trees. From creation, He rules in His majesty. God is life.
Yes, yes, yes. So, good afternoon, good morning, Shalom. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
Yes,
And I can believe that everyone can hear you also. Say good afternoon to the Unique Vibes family and listeners.
Good afternoon to the Unique Vibes family and all the listeners all over the UK, blessings.
So I realize that it's the early hours of the mornings right there in Jamaica. So let's get
just past 7.
Yeah, just after 7 o'clock in Jamaica. So I really do thank you for this early morning call. So tell us a little bit about yourself, because I know that you've been in the reggae, in and around reggae music, doing reggae music for years now. You started this as a teenager, I do believe. So tell us about the starting of your journey.
Yes, well, I started my journey in 1982. I met Sugar Miner in 82 Chisholm Avenue. And I start my journey there. that's how I really meet Sugar Minott through friends, you know. I was living in the dance yard, you know, in Kingston 13, 82 Chisholm Avenue. And then afterwards, you know, I began to sing with him. You know, I began to sing down by the studio. His studio was at Walton Park Road at that time. You know, 33 and a half Walton Park Road. You know, we began to work together. I began to do some engineering work because as a young artist, you know, going to school and, you know, trying to focus on your career, trying to, you know, just do what you are really desire to do in life. You know, I really just, after school, I'm right there by the studio doing engineering work, and, you know, when I get a chance to sing, then I, you
So
know,
what was
sing like a one, two.
What was the first track then that it is that you laid down for Sugar Minott that got released that everybody might know?
The first track that I did was a song named Teenage Lover, you know. Yeah, I did that song, in the 80s. I did that song.
But then, them times you used to go underneath a different name, Stevie Wonder?
Yes, that was my name back in the days. It was Stevie Wonder. You know, after Barry G played that song, you know, back in the days when Barry G was the hottest thing, you know, in Jamaica.
Yeah.
You know, when he played that song, he says, why did Sugar Minott name this artist Stevie Wonder? And then he played a Stevie Wonder song. And after I played the Stevie Wonder song, you know, then he played my tune.
And that was it.
That song. And that was it, man.
That launched off things for you.
Yeah, and then I started, you know, because back in those days, you know, the artists them used to just sing over a lot of songs, and my songs that I was writing, I was writing my own songs from in the 80s, you know, but because, you know, the singers them was singing like Sanchez, you know, was singing over a lot of songs back in those times. So, you know, Sugar said, you know, sing back over some songs, and so that's how I begin to, you know, sing over some tunes also, yeah.
Yeah, because earlier in the show I played Tender Love, which was a do-over that you released back in the 90s, wasn't it?
Yeah, man, Tender Love lately. You know, I did back the Sugar this Stevie Wonder lately also. You know, I sing back a lot of songs. You know, even One Night of Touching, that was a song that did very well in the UK. So when I came to the UK back in 89, you know, when I came to the UK and I draw that song, people say, I said, what a song, you know.
Yeah, no, that was a big tune here in the UK. One Night of Touching. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a big song in the UK, yeah.
So, at that time, you was, during that time when you was with Sugar Minott and in your youth and such, you was a practicing Rasta, or, you know, you had dreads on your hair. If we see you now...
No, I didn't have no dreads. I didn't have no dreads in those times.
Oh, you didn't?
No, the dreads begin to grow after I went on tour.
Okay.
I went on tour in 1993 with Sugar Minott, a European tour, and, you know, after I came back from the tour, because I really got inspired in London.
Okay.
I was at a studio on the east side of London with a dread named Wazir, and I think the name of the studio was Genesis.
All right.
And I was singing a song telling people to clean up their lives, but my life was a mess. And then the song began to minister to me first. The song began to beat me like somebody on a bed. Beat you until I say, yo, clean up your life. You know what I mean? And that's how my life really, you know, turned there, because I was trying to run away from the sun. I get out of the studio and I run go up the road, you know. And this I hear the song, you know, I'm a bar. You know me, I say, and when we come back to the studio now, you know, Johnny Osborne said, "Well, I'm here." You know, and I said, "Boy, Johnny, sing my tune the boy," and the song coming like it up. It does reflect my life. For me to clean up myself first, you know.
Yeah, man, it's a true to you.
Yeah, but your life is a mess, you know. And the song was a song. I don't even know if the song has been released in London, but it's a song named "We're having a gathering tonight, and everything gonna be alright. Come on, everyone. It's time to sing King Alpha song. We got to spread the love before it's too late. We got to serve Jaja. No time to waste." You know, I'm not telling man, when we got that song did I work on me, you know. And ever since that song, me stop eat certain things.
See.
You know, me just start to walk a different walk. Me and Johnny Osborne apart them time there. It was like me and Johnny Osborne was staying flat in London, because Sugar Mine was like back and forth from New York to London, you know, and then my passport gets stolen in Peckham. You know, in Peckham.
Good old Peckham.
Yeah, they broke into the apartment, man, and they stole my passport. They stole my jacket with my watch, and my passport was in it, and they stole some of Johnny Osborne's sneakers, and you know, and I tell you, that was a rough time for me, because Sugar Mine was working on some shows and to get me my visa to go to New York. And because of the whole thing, I had to go back to Jamaica. And that was when we went on the Youth Man promotion tour. That was in '89 though. You know, when we went on the Youth Man promotion tour. But after we went on the tour in Europe in '93 now, and I got inspired, you know, and did not know which direction to go, did not know who was calling me or what. And Johnny Osborne said, "You know, Jack call you, you know." You know, I mean, I said, "Right, cool." And true, Johnny Osborne is a Rastaman and thing, and you know, I mean, I'll pay Rastaman and Jack. They must say, "Me, I said, all right, you know, maybe, you know, ask some more questions, and I'm gonna stop eat certain things and start live a certain way, you know, and
all right,
and that was how I began to become a Rastaman. Yeah.
All right, so I think I'm going to play this track. I think this is a good point to play this track. Instrument for Jah.
Yeah.
Greetings. Greetings. The precious name of the Most High Jah. All in people, yes, I'm an instrument for Jah. Use me anywhere you want to. I'm an instrument for you. I'm an instrument for Jah. Use me anywhere you want to. I'm an instrument for you. Everywhere you go, I will follow too. All the things he teach, I will live up to. All nations bow before him. Heaven and earth adore him. I offer myself up to him. Bless his holy name. I'm an instrument for Jah. Use me anywhere you want to. I'm an instrument for you. I'm an instrument for Jah. Use me anywhere you want to. I'm an instrument for you. This is the generation that sees thy face, O your heads to Zion and be lifted up here, everlasting doors, and the King of glory shall come in. Who is the King of glory? The Lord that's strong and mighty, and I'm an instrument for you.
Yes, yes. So that was the sounds of Shalom with Instrument for Jah. So Shalom, tell us about this period in your life. This is about 2007.
Yeah, 2007. That was the time that I really went through a transformation period. You know, when I came to the United States. You know, went to the church to see my girlfriend, and I really got saved. You know, while she was on the floor there, in the spirit. You know, and I went around to pick her up, and they said, "Don't touch her." And by the time I was getting up, you know, the preacher that was preaching lays on me, and I fall out in the church and I cry out for Jesus. You know what I mean? And I was just, my life turned around from there, and I began to walk with the Lord. You know, ever since then. And then what happened to me was, you know, after that, now I was still at the studio, you know. And this album came about, you know, the ancient album, you know, and then I began to write songs about Jah, you know. Yeah, then I began to write these kind of music, Instrument for Jah and Love of Jah, and all of these songs, you know.
Yeah, so you released two albums in that period there. One was The Ancient and the other was The Love of Jah.
Love of Jah, yeah.
Okay, I don't want to keep you much longer, but so let's bring us up to date. So I asked you earlier on to select a track from Tailor Made. Tell us how it is that Tailor Made came about.
Tailor Made come about 2019. You know, Kashima, because I know Kashima still for years, you know, but Kashima called me and he says he has a rhythm, you know, that he would love me to sing a song on. And so when he sent the song, you know, that was the first song that I did from that made we do an album, you know, because it wasn't planned, you know.
Okay.
It wasn't planned for us to do an album. You know, so I did that song named I Rise.
Yes.
You know, because
that was released back in 2019, wasn't it?
2019, yes. Released in 2019. And that was the first track that I did. And that does spur off the whole, you know, the whole album that started from there. And then, you know, he starts to send some rhythms to me and him say, yeah, man, you know, we have some rhythm from a long time. I mean, I say, yeah, man, those are the rhythms, you know, that I really want to, you know, sing. Some music, yeah, man, some old rhythm, some rhythm from the 70s, 60s, yeah. Them rhythm, they're real, authentic reggae music.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean? When we get, you know, rhythm them, I say, yeah, man, and the inspiration that start flow, man. I say, many of these songs, when I write them, you know, I cry, man. I cry. Tears fell out of my eyes, man. I write the song, man, I back. You know, my wife, if I ask me, I'm to you, all right. I say, yeah, I'm a good man. Song, you know, the song does.
Just a movie.
Yeah, man, the songs are inspired by the Almighty, man, you know. And so, you know, real music, and I really pray that these songs, you know, that this album will change lives and just give people a better perspective of life, you know, and just to stay focused, you know, not on the issues, but just focus on the Almighty that will take us through our issues and our circumstances. In the master, because them real, you know. Yeah, man. But Tailor Made is a song that from the album Tailor Made, you know, you to play that's a song that I would love you. Yeah, man.
Yeah, Tailor Made really talks about the fact that the world has been created by the Father, and
Yes.
it's a perfect creation that He made.
Yes, man.
And celebrating the fact that we need to, and asking us even to just recognize that as an important things in our life.
That
The other tracks
That's
that
right.
you also favored on the album is This Is the Life. Why do you particularly, what's so special about that track?
well, that track, it's a tune that, you know, as I said before, these songs I don't even know how to write them. You know what I
Inspiration.
mean? When the rhythm start play and the rhythm start tell you what to write, and the inspiration start flow, and this song just came out of nowhere. It just and it's just awesome because it talks about my life. It talks about where I'm coming from. And it talks about just to be strong, even though you go through struggle. You have to remain strong and still have love in your same way. You know what I mean? Because at the end of it all, the future is bright. So, this is a song that really speaks not about my issues only or my situation or from where I'm coming from. Many other people can relate to, the song where, they have been and where they are now. You know what I mean? In life. You know what I mean? So this is a song that, I really love this song also. Yeah, man.
Okay, so I'm gonna play that in a little while after we've finished the interview. But if you was gonna give one message out to the people them this afternoon, what would that be?
Well, the message is just, be conscious and focus. Don't let, anything distract you. You know what I mean? From being who God called you to be. You know what I mean? You're gonna go through stress. You're gonna go through problems in your life. Every man have to go through.
I saw.
You know what I mean? It doesn't matter who you are, but just remember that there is an Almighty God, man, that is gonna keep you. Once you recognize that, you can't fail. You know what I mean? So I just want to, leave that with everyone that, I say, God is life, and without life, we are nothing. So we have to give praises and give acknowledgement to the one that give us this life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man.
So I thank you very much for taking the time out and sharing a message with us today. And so for everyone, go and get your copy of Tailor Made by Shalom. It's available on all of the streaming channels. Shalom, I'm going to wish you a good day because it's still morning there. And happy Sabbath, indeed. We didn't even talk about the fact that it is that you are actually Bishop Stephen Harper. I can't let you get away with not mentioning that. So tell us about that. How is it, you being a bishop, so you're still doing your reggae music, still doing these tracks, but you are a bishop. So tell us about your church. Is it Faith in Action?
Yeah, the church is International Faith in Action Deliverance Ministries. It's at 80 Young Street in Spanish Town. And we, I've been in the church from 2002.
Okay.
From 2002 I got saved. And I've been serving as an armor bearer, to my bishop. I've been, just focusing. From the day I got saved, I was just focusing and continue to focus, serving in the church, because it doesn't matter who you are in the ministry, whether you're an evangelist, a pastor, a bishop, or an apostle, or a prophet, or a prophetess. You are first a servant. And so just by serving, and the zeal and the zealousness, of my service, I was trusted, to be a leader over a few. Yeah, and the Lord said, if you really, be faithful in serving a few, then He will give you, a chance to serve over many. So I was, leader over the choir. I was leader over the praise and worship team.
Yes.
I was a men's president in the church. I was a lot of I wear a lot of hats, you know, in those times, you know, but community ministry, you know. And so when I came back home to Jamaica in 2010, when I came back to Jamaica, you know, the pastor that was at the church, you know, he just get up one day and just leave. Mm-hmm. You know, the man just get up one day and just imprint a message, say don't jump ship. And then that was a Sunday morning, and by the Wednesday, he was out of the church. So he was the one that he was preaching about.
I was going to say, yeah, he was talking about himself then.
He was talking about himself. And so in jump ship, he left the church. And, you know, so we were there. My wife was at that particular ministry in Spanish Town for years.
Okay.
So she, you know, she was the one that was leading. You know, she became the pastor. And, you know, I became her second, you know, which is the co-pastor. You know, our bishop came down and she, you know, put us in place and tell us, because that church has been through many splits, many pastors come and, you know, and go. And so, because we are real sons and daughters of the ministry, which our apostle is my wife's aunt, you know, okay. Apostle Dr. Violet. You know? And so she put us in place, and we've been leading, you know, that ministry ever since that time till now. And so, you know, service and doing the work of God, you know, he sees fit where to put you and how to exalt you at his particular time. And so that's how I became, you know, pastor, became bishop, you know, and really and operating in the fivefold ministry giftings, which is healing and deliverance and, you know, prophesying and all kinds of things. And that is just awesome, you know. So that's really sums it up, you know.
So
to be
true to the words of your song "Instrument for Jah," you have become a church leader, and you are now leading people.
Yes.
You have it's been a great pleasure just talking to you today and really sharing your interesting story and the fact that you have this talent, because you have a great voice, you have a great talent, and you are continuing to use it to serve God and to bring positive messages to people across the world. So I'm going to wish you a very good day.
Thank you.
And thank you for taking the time.
You are welcome, man. Thank you so much again. And thanks to everyone, you know, on the program and everyone that is listening. You know, I really appreciate, you know, everyone. And thank you so much again. You know, yeah, man.
Bless up. Bless up.
Yeah.
Give me your bread and we no want them butter. Come from this slum, we come from out of the gutter. Long time we focus, although we are suffer. Working so hard cause we want to see better. The wisdom of Jaja make we find this a treasure. Yeah, this is the life that we pray for. I tell you, hey, this is the life that we hope for. Yeah, this is the life that we dream of. Yeah, this is the life that we bleed for. Your future bright, me say your future bright. blessing. Right here now I miss say things are progressing. Give thanks to the Father for His blessing. Yeah, this is the life that we pray for. Yeah, this is the life that we hope for.
It's Missy Laneyus. Don't know.